Okay, now let's talk about some of the more collaborative features available to you in Google Docs. So I'm going to head back to my drive. And as a reminder that you can search for documents in the search drive, I'm going to search back up that example document that I made in the last video by the title. Oh, there it is. So what makes Google Drive especially powerful, besides just the features that are available to you through the menus and on the toolbar, are the fact that there are a ton of collaborative features that you can use within any Google Doc, and that also goes for slides or sheets because they function pretty much the same. They actually are Google Docs. They're just formatted a little different. So you can share a Google Doc with whoever else you would like to be able to collaborate with. When I click the share button, I'm going to get the same option similar to what you saw in the session 1 video. If you right click on a document within your drive, you can also just share from the document itself. So here I can add someone. If I would like to have them be able to access the document, I can set their privileges as an editor, a viewer, or a commenter. You can add a message for them. And then when you send, it's going to send them a notification that they have been added to this document. Also, just like we talked about within the Google Drive itself, you can click share and you can share with a link. It's also important to see that down here it's going to show you who is allowed to access the document with the link. So you can click right there where it said shared with MCBOE. If you want this to be available to users who are outside of the district, then you can choose that anyone with the link option. And then remember here, it's going to allow you to choose what their usage rights are if you want them to view, comment, or be able to edit. So if you're sharing that way, you just copy the link and then you can paste it into an email or however you're going about sharing with others. Once you have shared with whoever you would like to give access to, then you're able to collaborate with that person in a couple of different ways. So with a Google Doc, there is a feature right here that shows you what mode you're in. So right now I'm in editing mode. Let's say I want to change to suggesting. This is really great, especially if you are helping to proofread a document for someone and you want to be able to give suggestions without actually changing what they did. Let's say I want to suggest adding the word Google here. So if I do that, because I'm in suggesting mode, it's going to add this here as a suggestion in green. Now, when someone comes back to this document who is in editing mode, who has editing rights to the document, if they agree with this suggestion and they want to make it permanent, they can click here and click the check mark to go ahead and add that into the document. Or they can click the X to reject the suggestion. So when I click the check mark, it's going to add it. Let's say I go back later and I decide, well, I don't know that I do really like that. So I'm still in suggesting mode. Maybe I'm going to suggest that we go back and take that out. So now you can see I'm suggesting that we strike that out. If someone check marks that, then it's going to take it away. Another thing that you can do is you can add comments to a document. You can also tag people within your comments. So that works really well, especially if you're working in an entire team, but there's one particular person that you want to look at a particular piece of the document. So let's say I want somebody to take a look at this video that I linked and tell me if they think that was a good idea to put that there. So I can add a comment by either clicking add comment right here, or I can right click just right next to it and choose comment. When I do, it's going to highlight right where the comment is, and it's going to make a little comment box appear for me. But let's say I want to tag someone in particular in my comment. So I can use the @ symbol to search for a contact. And then I can add a comment here and tag someone in particular to sort of direct them to that comment because it's for them. So once I click comment, it's going to add that there. When the person that you tagged comes into the document and reads the comment, they'll be able to reply, or they can resolve the comment if the conversation is finished. So one more thing that you can do that's helpful at times is go into the revision history of a document. Say you need to go back to a previous version, or something was accidentally deleted and you're not able to use Control-Z to quickly undo it, or click undo to quickly undo it, and you need to get some content back that was accidentally deleted, or if you just need to see when a change was made, you can click here where it says Open Version History, and that is going to let you see kind of a report of when changes were made. Now, I'm the only person that's been on this document, so there's not a ton of history. Basically, this is when I first opened it and it was blank. If I go here, I can drop down and it's going to show me all the different little changes that I made. Also notice how it highlights in blue, and if I kind of hover over here, it pops up my name. If there were more than one people on this document, you would be able to see over here sort of what their color is, so you can kind of see who has done what, or you can hover over to see who completed that task. You can also restore a version if you need to go back to a previous version. Another thing that you can do that's pretty cool is, say you don't want to lose everything on the current version of your document, but you want to get back one thing from a previous version. If I need to, I can right here highlight and I can copy, and then I can go back out of my revision history. Oh, I'm in suggesting mode, so I just suggested that I take 2 big spaces. Let me go back to editing mode. But I can also paste. So I just pasted that text from the revision history. So you can, that's another way you can use that feature as well.